The Attorney General is the head legal officer for the state. They're also the head law enforcement officer for the state. So they really marry those two positions and feel like they're sort of prosecuting what they believe is corporate fraud, corporate deception, and attorneys general operate under two main rubrics in terms of law enforcement. They're going to use the State Consumer Protection Act, which they feel gives them unlimited jurisdiction, or UDAP, the Unfair Deceptive Advertising Practices, to go after companies for their representations, their marketing, and their advertising. And through those two tools, they're able to almost get at every company and every corporation that they're interested in attacking. Historically, state attorneys general were really just reactive. And when somebody sued the state attorney general would represent the state and its interest. Today, there's been a real shift toward more aggressive state attorneys general. Much of the conversation today is about the shift from federal enforcement and regulation to state enforcement and regulation. Typically, the Democratic states where they have a state attorney general who happens to be a Democrat are typically more aggressive. Massachusetts, New York, Illinois, state of Washington, California, for example. And that is because the state attorneys general feel that the federal government is doing less in terms of enforcement regulation, so they need to carry the water more than they used to. That's cyclical, so who knows what's going to happen in 2020, it may shift, but for right now, the state attorneys general are very active, very proactive, and in particular, they're going after corporate America when they believe that corporate America is doing something that's not, in their eyes, just and fair to consumers. As I look forward on issues that state attorneys general are focused on, privacy is the number one issue. They're really concerned with privacy issues and how companies are managing their data. They're also concerned with pharmaceutical companies and off-label marketing. That's always been an issue, it's always going to be an issue. And the healthcare space in general is actually a space that the state attorneys general are getting more involved in. In terms of financial institutions, what they're really looking at there is debt collection is a huge issue for them. Mortgage servicing is a huge issue for them. In the wake of the national mortgage foreclosure crisis, there are a lot of issues that remain that state attorneys general now know about and are therefore looking into. And of course the internet, and that's really the Wild West for state attorneys general in the financial institution space. Internet lending, internet payments, internet banking, all of those issues are places that the state attorneys general are looking into and will continue to look into down the road. What I advise companies that receive a CID or a subpoena from a state attorney general is to immediately call their law firm and work with a former attorney general or former deputy attorney general to work with the state attorney general and the assistant attorney general that sent that subpoena. The first thing you want to do is limit the scope of the subpoena in terms of time and the amount of discovery that you have to produce because it's expensive. So you want to give them the low-hanging fruit. You want to be cooperative. Send them some materials, then go in and sit down with the state attorney general or his or her staff and try and figure out how to resolve the matter to the satisfaction of the state, but to the satisfaction of the company and ultimately to the consumers. And that's the goal. And because these things can get really expensive, can be really protracted in terms of time and effort, and you're probably going to get to the same place at the end anyway. So that is the way I advise clients and companies is be cooperative first. You know if you have to get your litigation and battle gear on, you can do that down the road, but at first just try and resolve the case as quickly and as effectively and as efficiently as possible.